hotline is...
Let us know what you want more of on WCBN.com.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
T-minus 1 day till Friday. How you doing? I think I'm going to start off the show with the wise words of Carl Higbee from Newsmax.
But I also want to address how biblically stupid the majority of coverage has been on this whole thing in the last 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Right after Trump sent out this gangster truth about the elimination of an entire civilization, every lib rushed to the camera like, no, we have to stop. We have to have a peace deal.
Yeah.
The only way we're going to get out of this is to have some kind of diplomatic solution.
What I'm hopeful of is that some negotiation is going on that can get a ceasefire and end this war.
They were having a negotiation with the Iranians. They just cut it off, and the next day, we're doing airstrikes into Iran.
We need to end this war now. We need an immediate ceasefire. Iran, Israel, and the United States need to stop bombing and have a negotiated settlement.
Yeah, we kind of got that.
These people will literally never be happy. This is what I'm saying. The left is more interested in trashing Trump than they are about world peace. It's actually remarkable. It's like a medical talent to be able to shove your head up your own rear so far that you don't even see how ridiculous you look.
There you go. That is a mic drop from Carl Higbee on this Thursday. And here's Jim Gossett on the Rob Carson Show.
I got a random blink. They knew they were on the brink.
Yeah, we kicked their butts.
Destruction they did not desire.
No, they didn't, but they certainly got it.
Agreed to a total ceasefire. Take it away, Johnny.
Granted them a 2-week ceasefire. If they violate it, that will raise Trump's ire. And the bombing resumes with no ceasefire. With no ceasefire. Bring it home, Mr. President.
New peace plan is on the table.
Yep.
Iran must prove that it is able to honor it. Or no ceasefire. Or no ceasefire.
There you go, yeah.
Or no ceasefire.
Apparently they're not doing a very good job of ceasefiring. Here is Trey Yinks.
Right now we're in a 2-week ceasefire. This is not necessarily the end of Operation Epic Fury. It's a chance at an off-ramp. But already the Iranians are starting to go back
oh, please, FAFO.
on the agreements that they made and these commitments they made to American negotiators to temporarily end this conflict. Yesterday we heard the Speaker of Iran's parliament saying that the issue of enriched uranium will be something that the Iranians will maintain.
No, that's not going to happen.
We also heard President Trump yesterday saying that the Iranians have agreed to work with the Americans to allow an operation inside of Iran to dig up and get rid of the enriched uranium. And so there's still a major disconnect there. And today there was a major statement from the atomic chief in Iran who said...
the atomic chief. Said
the enemy, quote, won't succeed in restricting Iran's enrichment program.
Wow. Oh.
And again, at this point, the Iranians do not look serious.
I love their just arrogance and hubris, and I cannot wait for Bridge and Power Plant Day 2.0.
Their efforts to reach an agreement with the United States. And so this weekend will be incredibly consequential. And if the Iranians continue to go back on these commitments that they made to the Americans as it relates to enriched uranium and also access in the Strait of Hormuz, we are likely looking at a situation where the region returns to war.
Yeah, good, and that's what we need to do because the people in charge there, these 7th century throwbacks, followers of Sharia law, need to be wiped the hell out. They need to be wiped the hell out, and I think it's actually kind of a gift from God. And I do mean this, a gift from God that they are so arrogant and so foolish and so proud that they will seal their own doom. So there you go. Bravo. Yay. But it doesn't help when the American media lies. Yesterday, there were a host of people, including Chris Murphy, who parroted the 10 points that the Iranian regime said that we had agreed to. It was a freaking lie. It was a freaking lie. And he quoted it on TV. He goes, oh, yeah, Donald Trump says that they're going to be able to keep their enriched uranium. No, that's what Iran said. I mean, honestly, it's so bad. This is the worst I've ever seen. We have a Confederate Democrat Party. We have a media that is a propaganda arm of Iran and other governments against the United States of America. It is utterly, utterly ridiculous. And you add nutbags like Alex Jones. Alex Jones. I mean, listen. I don't think I've ever really defended him, but he is a nutbag supreme. He always has been a nutbag supreme, and he thinks that people are going to follow him off a cliff rather than support his president, and he's doing a great job. Same goes with Tucker Carlson. To hell with both of them. Honestly, nutbag, you've always been a nutbag. You know, I mean, you've always looked like a fool. You know, sometimes you're occasionally right, Alex Jones, but generally you're just a nut. You should go live in a hut in the middle of the jungle, like Ted Kaczynski did, and do your little podcast from out there. Oh, he's a big deal. He made a lot of money. Well, yeah, he made a lot of money. He also lost a lot of money because he lied about some children who were murdered. I mean, honestly, just a insane fool. And I'm glad actually that and it's really not the MAGA movement. It's actually just a part of the Republican Party that is purging itself from the MAGA movement. So I'm glad to have them gone because the rest of us aren't going anywhere. Here is a little montage. On Sunday, the Democrats were freaking out because Donald Trump was going to wipe out the Iranian civilization and culture. Even though the Ayatollah did that in 1978, and also the culture we're trying to eliminate wants us dead and calls us the great Satan and wants us removed from the earth. So there is that. There is that. And then, of course, they screech and scream and they say that there's, Donald Trump, by threatening these people, is not going to get them the table to consider a ceasefire and opening the Straits of Hormuz. And then what happens yesterday? They agree to a ceasefire and the opening of Hormuz. So Donald Trump went from tyrant to taco. And taco is, they think that Donald Trump, he talks a big game, but he never follows through, which is an absolute lie. He always follows through.
Donald Trump just caved, backing down from his fake deadline.
No.
All day today, everyone, most notably the people of Iran, were wondering if their civilization was going to die tonight. Well, good news, it didn't. It was the Taco Tuesday of all Taco Tuesdays.
It's been very obvious for the last few days that the president was looking for an off-ramp.
The taco, Trump always chickens out.
Why would we look for an off-ramp when we were kicking their asses? Why would we need an off-ramp when we have annihilated their military, their navy is underwater? Why would we capitulate when their nuclear program is buried under tens of thousands of tons of rubble? Why would we do that?
Syndrome.
We just can't accept a president who is literally promising to destroy an entire civilization, to murder hundreds of thousands.
No, that's not true. Wasn't going to murder hundreds of thousands of people. That's an absolute lie. They were going to go after strategic targets
of innocent human beings. That alone should be.
That's Chris Murphy. He is a lying scumbag.
Grounds for the removal of this president.
Oh yeah, there you go. Now it's by the way, it's impeachment. Earlier it was 25th Amendment. On Monday it was 25th Amendment. Tuesday, Wednesday it changed to impeachment. And they, by the way, when Donald Trump was president the last 4 years, they did the same thing.
But he thinks, I guess, that the threat of mass-scale war crimes has achieved some success.
Yeah, we've actually received a lot of success. Actually, here is Bradley Cooper talking about our success.
On February 28th, the President of the United States ordered the Joint Force to execute Operation Epic Fury, with the direction to accomplish three distinct military objectives.
What is it?
Destroy Iran's ballistic missile and drone capabilities.
Check.
Destroy the Iranian Navy, and
Check.
Destroy their defense industrial base to
Check.
ensure that Iran cannot reconstitute the ability to project power outside their borders. Over the course of 38 days of major combat operation, the Joint Force achieved the military objectives as defined by the President.
There you go. That is pretty amazing, actually, and it actually happened, and that's actually true. believe it or not. But Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, who lie about everything and literally have been doing this. The Democrat Party has been doing this for 10 years now, and it's only gotten worse. Their temper tantrum has only gotten worse. And here is Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer claiming falsely that we've really failed.
A 2-week ceasefire is insufficient. We need a permanent end to Donald Trump's reckless war of choice.
Gas prices, worse shape. Iran's nuclear ambition, we're in worse shape.
No.
American credibility, we're in worse shape.
No, actually.
This war is a colossal failure.
There you go. There they are. They're whizzing on the accomplishments of our troop. They started that on day one. Normally, you'd be like a ticker tape parade for our troops because they did such a great job. But our Democrat Party are so political and so hateful of Donald Trump that they have done nothing but malign the actions of our military. You military members, I hope you realize this. I hope you recognize that this Democrat Party feminized and ruined the military. Nothing wrong with being a girl, but, honestly, what they did with, men in dresses in charge and whatnot, and woke ad campaigns destroyed the military. We come in here, we've got a Department of War now, and that's run by a guy who actually knows what he's doing, Pete Hegseth, and they've made you great again. They've made you great again, and you have performed nearly flawlessly. I would say flawlessly in a campaign, the greatest military campaign, the most overwhelmingly successful and overpowering military campaign in history that would have taken years for anyone else to do against the country of Iran with tens of thousands of casualties. We were able to do it in 6 weeks. And we were able to do it with fewer deaths than during military training exercises in a single year.
And perhaps most importantly, we've destroyed Iran's defense industrial base.
Yeah, we did.
Their ability to reconstitute those capabilities for years to come.
Yep.
We attacked, along with our partners, approximately 90% of their weapons factories.
Wow.
Every factory.
I think that Chuck Schumer said that was a fail.
Factory that produced Shahed one-way attack drones was struck. Every factory that produces the guidance systems that go into those
Hakeem Jeffries said that was a fail.
Drones was struck. Their missile defense industrial bases shattered.
Definitely fail.
More than 80% of their missile facilities gone.
Gee, what an awful failure.
As well as their solid rocket motor.
Super faceplant.
Production capability. It will take years for Iran to rebuild any major surface combatants.
Somebody call Alex Jones, that we've really failed.
More than 20 naval production and fabrication facilities have been damaged or destroyed.
You betcha.
And nearly 80% of Iran's nuclear industrial base was hit, further degrading their attempts to attain a nuclear weapon.
And on day one, we killed their supreme leader and made his, a couple days later, we made his cardboard cutout son into powder. So there you go. Other than that, it's been a complete failure. Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones, you're actually nuts. All right, we got a lot coming up on the show today, including Blaine Holt's going to join us. It is Thursday, and Michael Charbon is going to be joining us from Canada. Oh, there's some bat guano crazy crap coming up in Canada. I got to tell you, you better be ready. This is extreme nuts kind of stuff coming out of Canada. That's at the bottom of the hour. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. This fall, you're invited to experience Washington, D.C. in a truly unforgettable way with me, Rob Carson, and other Newsmax listeners. Imagine strolling through our nation's capital as America celebrates 250 years and seeing history come alive with an expert guide. Together, we'll tour the White House Visitor Center, step into the halls of democracy with a guided tour of the U.S. Capitol building, visit Arlington National Cemetery and the changing of the guard, stand in awe before the towering figure of President Abraham Lincoln, and take in the beauty of D.C.'s legendary memorials with a special nighttime illumination tour. Our adventure includes premium hotel accommodations for 4 nights in the heart of D.C., in addition to 6 meals, ground transportation guides, and gratuities. Space is limited, so don't wait. Visit travelwithrob.net to book your D.C. getaway today, or give our friends at Cruise and Tour a call at 800-383-3131. That's 800-383-3131, or travelwithrob.net.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
I've seen a lot of inaccurate coverage today from the media about these negotiations and these plans already. So let me be clear and correct the record. The Iranians originally put forward a 10-point plan that was fundamentally unserious, unacceptable, and completely discarded. It was literally thrown in the garbage by President Trump and his negotiating team. Many outlets in this room have falsely reported on that plan as being acceptable to the United States, and that is false.
That is really bad that the American media complex would take the talking points of Iran and make it into some sort of acceptable terms that the White House accepts. Honestly, it is as bad as, I think it wasn't the New York Times that reported that Joseph Stalin, a glowing report on Joseph Stalin when he was starving people to death, and they were like, oh no, the people are eating well in Russia. It really is remarkable. It's like Time Magazine making Hitler the man of the year. It's that kind of pathos. Chris Murphy, who has a bad comb over. I mean, the worst comb over. Dude, let it go. Or take some of the stuff that I do, because it really works well. But anyway, here is Chris Murphy yesterday. Again, I said this and I was laughing about it because he was quoting the Iranians. Okay, he was quoting the Iranians.
But if you accept even part of the Iranian statement...
No, you can't, you see, because they lie. You idiot with a bad comb over.
Donald Trump has agreed to give Iran control of the Strait of Hormuz.
No, that was a lie. That's what they said, but it was a lie, you see, because they're the Iranians, and they lie.
That is extraordinary. If you go deeper into the statement from the Iranian National Security Council...
If you go deeper into the statement from the Iranian National Security Council, you know, the same Security Council that says the Ayatollah, the gay Ayatollah is still alive, when they presented him as a cardboard cutout without any clothes, just the head glued onto the cardboard cutout. Didn't even put an outfit on him, for God's sake. Did your little sister have one of those things when you were a little kid where it's had the little magnetic doll, whatever, silhouette, and they just tack the clothes on? Yeah, they could have done that.
They claim that Trump has also agreed to Iran's right to enrichment.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, if the Iranian regime insists, then obviously Donald Trump is capitulating after destroying 90% of their military-industrial base.
To suspend all sanctions against Iran.
We're going to go ahead and suspend. And you can take our word for it. Donald Trump, he has said that he will bend over and take it from us.
And to allow Iran to keep their missile program, their drone program, and their nuclear.
Sure, and also buy them a unicorn. Find a unicorn and give it to them. Here's Caroline Levitt basically saying, you know what, you are so freaking absurd, you just can't be taken seriously.
The president's red lines, namely the end of Iranian enrichment in Iran, have not changed. And the idea that President Trump would ever accept an Iranian wish list as a deal is completely...
Well, that's not what Chris Combe-Over Murphy and the Iranian regime said.
Absurd. The president will only make a deal that serves in the best interests of the United States of America, and he as a negotiating team will focus on this effort over the next 2 weeks, so long as the Strait of Hormuz remains open with no limitations or delays. These extraordinarily sensitive and complex negotiations will take place behind closed doors over the course of the next 2 weeks. I would strongly advise the media against running with narratives that have no basis in fact. What Iran says publicly or feeds to all of you in the press is much different than what they communicate to the United States, the president, and his team privately.
Yeah, you think?
Never underestimate.
That's the stuff that Chris Murphy with the bad comb over gobbled up like a little bird.
President Trump's ability to successfully advance America's interests and broker peace.
Yeah, here is J.D. Vance yesterday. It was a brilliant little presser by Air Force Two, talking about it is important for the media to be honest, and they're not doing that.
I think it's very important for the American media to be honest with the American people on this particular issue, because it affects not just, the normal issues of public policy. It actually affects peace and war. And here's what I mean. So in the past couple of days, I've seen a lot of reporting from the American media about the 10-point proposal that the Iranians have made. Now, as I know, because I've been involved in this, there are 3 different 10-point proposals at least that I've seen floating around. The first 10-point proposal was something that was submitted, and we think, frankly, was probably written by ChatGPT, that was submitted to Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. That immediately went
that was the one I think that Chris Badcomer from Murphy read.
In the garbage and was rejected. There was a second 10-point proposal that was much more reasonable, that was based on some back and forth between us, between the Pakistanis, and between the Iranians. That is the 10-point proposal that the president was referencing in his truth yesterday. And then, frankly, I've seen a third 10-point proposal that's even more maximalist than the first 10-point proposal that's been floating around various social media.
And, of course, the Democrat Party gobbled that the hell up, because that's how they are, honestly. It is just utterly ridiculous that they would eat their propaganda after our military does an outstanding job. Just did a really outstanding job. Our military has kicked butt and taken some names, and they just it's whizzing on the efforts of our military. By the way, I want to mention, have you gone to travelwithrob.net? We're doing this big trip October 25th through the 29th, 5 days, 4 nights, tour of the U.S. Capitol Building, Arlington National Cemetery, changing of the guard, the National Mall, the museums, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Memorial, the War Memorials, all of that. We're going to have a hell of a time. Luxury premium hotel accommodations, 4 nights, heart of D.C., 6 meals, ground transportation, guides, and gratuities, and I'm throwing myself in for free. I will be here at your disposal. We're going to have a great time. Space is limited. Don't wait. Travelwithrob.net. Travelwithrob.net, or you can call this number 800-383-3131, 800-383-3131. Donald Trump is the president. It's the 250th anniversary of our country's birth, and America is kicking butt and taking names around the world. Book your trip so you can join me this fall, will ya? Travelwithrob.net. Michael Charbon joins us next. Things have just gone off the rails in Canada. And also their dream of crickets as food is going into the garbage as well. That's coming up, so don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson. I just got a ghost bed. Yeah, no, pay attention here, because I've been sleeping on a foam mattress since I moved to the Washington, D.C. area, which is like sleeping on the sponge in your sink. Ghost Bed doesn't build mattresses like furniture. They build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment. Beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I have been sleeping past 7 in the morning on my Ghost Bed. It's unbelievable. If you wake up stiff, you toss and turn, if you sleep hot, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping tonight will be different, that's not aging. It's your mattress talking. Another great thing I love about Ghost Bed, you get 101 nights to try it at home. If you don't like the difference, you can send it back risk-free. Ghost Bed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. You are going to love your new Ghost Bed.
Tehran's leaders are crumbling. They're being taken out. Their headquarters are crumbling as the U.S. shows its clout. And that should tell them time to surrender. Call it a day before our troops blow you away. Throw in the towel while you still can, or you'll be down to your last man. More new missiles they were making, with more nukes deployed. Down the sites they have been taken, and we are overjoyed. They ought to know it's time to surrender. White flag should wave. Soon will be nothing left to save.
Might be headed to paradise, surrendering might be good advice. Bombs over my head. Headed our way. Leadership has been taken down. Maybe we should get out of town. Bombs over my head. Yes, we are doomed. Trump says he will take us out, and we'll be history. Has not left any doubt that a bomb is headed for me. The Ayatollah has said bye-bye. His successor's an endangered guy. Bombs over my head. Not long for this world.
Oh, beauty, go.
Take off to the great white north. Take off.
It's a beauty way to go.
Take off to the great white north.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the only radio program, maybe worldwide, that has this song still on the air from Bob and Mug McKenzie, way back from the 1980s. And we use it to introduce the one and only Michael Charbon, the host of the Charbon Report, also Newsmax personality, coming from Canada. Michael Charbon, how are you today?
You know, it's an honor to be on with you, Rob, and your nationally syndicated radio listeners on Thursdays, as well as streaming live, of course, on the Newsmax app for the great Rob Carson Show. Listen to you, watch you. You're doing a great job. You stole my thunder in your opening.
What?
Well, we're talking about all this business about MSNBC and CNN can't even get talking points, and saying that the American government, the most powerful military in the world, doesn't have a plan.
It was just remarkable. It really is. It would be like taking Hitler's talking points and during the Battle of the Bulge, and saying that, oh yeah, we're really kicking Americans' ass. It would utterly for the Chris Murphy, bad comb over Murphy, and the Democrat Party to take the talking points from Iran that said, oh yeah, Donald Trump has accepted all of our 10-point proposal, including we will be able to enrich uranium, and we will be able to have really. And they did it, and they gobbled it up, and they're doing so much damage to themselves in the meantime.
You know, there were certain other countries that would say that kind of talk and action is actually siding with the enemy.
Yes.
It's the same regime. It's the same regime in 1979 when this Islamic radical government took over. There was like 100,000 women who were protesting because they were going to force them to wear head coverings. And it's been reported that 5 snipers were put in high areas and were shooting women in the head. And you wonder why people in Iran who have no guns have not been standing up and trying to go against the army. I mean, what was it, 3 months ago, Rob, that it was 45,000 people that were shot and killed?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same people that would give a woman 75 lashes and make her disappear for not wearing a hijab.
They really have. They've really sold their souls. They've sold their souls. They've given up all sense of decency. I've said that if Donald Trump cured cancer, they'd say, "What has cancer done to you?" And I'm not kidding. That's not a stretch. If Donald Trump came up and working with the HHS and all that, came up with a cure for cancer, they'd find out a way to make it negative. Like, oncology is a degree, and there are hospitals that cure cancer, and you're putting them out of business.
And they take one word or one sentence. We all understand that Donald Trump is a little bodacious. He brags a bit.
Yes.
He's a bit of a bully. And we understand that may not be presidential to what some people naturally expect. But here's a situation. He's basically saying he's going to send them back into the dark ages and eliminate a nationality or a country. He's not talking about exterminating people. He's about eliminating the tools, energy, electricity, and bridges, transportation. That means they're going to go back to the horse and buggy because those bridges don't exist. But the media takes that one line and goes, "Oh my God, we've never had it. We've got to take them out."
And the last thing you'd want to do is destroy a regime that wants all of us dead and calls us the great Satan. I mean, honestly, what the hell is wrong with your heads? Now, I said, Donald Trump, he is an MMA fighter at the weigh-in. He's standing there looking at you in the face. And he's not a bully, by the way. He is this way because he has been attacked 97% of the time negatively for the last 10 years. He's given it right back. But I said, when Donald Trump said, "We are going to destroy your civilization and your culture," I want you, and this is something I said Monday. I said that happened in 1978. Here's Paul Morrow. I've really enjoyed his commentary lately on what I said.
Paul Morrow made the point on the 5. You know who really ended the Persian civilization? The mullahs. They had a beautiful thing going on until the Islamic Revolution. The media thinks Trump's the bad guy. And the mullahs, who slaughter protesters and use kids as human shields, they have the moral high ground.
Yeah, and here's Morrow in his words himself actually saying that.
Paul Morrow made the point on the 5.
The wrong soundbite. But you get my point. The Ayatollahs destroyed the Persian culture, wiped out all of the museums, wiped out, took all the rights of women away, erased all of the advances that the women had made. He got rid of the arts and sciences, essentially, and has been nothing but a mouthpiece for terror worldwide, women wearing hijabs, men being able to marry 9-year-olds, and that's it. So the culture and civilization was wiped out by the Ayatollah.
Where are all the women's groups? Where are all these people who the NAACP, the groups that are all so much for making us accountable for what our norms and what supposedly are bad things that we do in North America? Where are they?
It's because those groups put politics first. They wear the guise of being feminist. They wear the guise of, for instance, there are Jewish people who are pro-Palestinian. They put the party before their purpose or their belief system. So it's a ruse. They abandon it as soon as they're challenged, with truth.
But I come back to the point that I think America really has to stand up and realize that some of your media are perpetually in the other team's bank and always trying to make things look like it's worse and reporting, as you said, propaganda from the enemy. I mean, freedom of speech goes so far, but someone's got to start calling that out. And I think there has to be a fact checker which really comes back and starts talking about what effect that has. And the other reason I want to say that is, for example, in Canada, we have what's called basic cable. CNN is a must carry. So every Canadian gets CNN. Every Canadian does not get Newsmax.
No.
Every Canadian does not get Fox News. So those are the two pillars of conservative opinion. So if you're a Canadian and all you see is CNN and MS Now, that's the only filter that you have of American news. So that's perceived as being the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was that way in America forever, but unfortunately we've gotten past it. I will tell you something. I'm not so crazy about a fact checker, because that means some sort of a czar. That means some sort of a department. What I am in favor of is when networks do like they're doing here. If they're an over-the-air broadcast network, they have their license removed, and Donald Trump has been talking about possibly ABC doing that. If you spew the propaganda of the enemy on your airwaves, you should lose your license. That's it. That's all. That's that. As far as the internet is concerned, and now as far as cable is concerned, those are paid for, so people can watch whatever they want, and you can choose to watch them or not, or subscribe to them or not. But I do understand where you're coming from with regard to Canada. And there fortunately are a few of us who are able to look at this for what it really is. Unfortunately, there are those, like many Canadians, who gobble up the pablum that is offered them because they're not offered the choice of, say, Newsmax or whatever. Michael Charbon, go ahead.
They don't know anything different, Rob. They're not given the other objection. You start to talk to people and say, did you know? They're going, I didn't know that. I watched CNN.
Yeah.
They blatantly take it. It's not pablum. I think that's derogatory in the sense, if that's all you're given to eat, that's what you eat.
Well, aren't there alternatives? Cannot you find them in Canada? Is there not an interweb in Canada?
Yeah, but come on, Rob. We're all lazy. We're all on our iPads. We are. We watch what's convenient.
I know.
It's the same thing.
All right, well, listen, I've got a bunch I want to get to, including this new 2S sub-working group that acknowledges not just LGBTQIA+. Oh, no, that got a whole lot longer. We're going to share it on the other side of the break. It's I know, and we're also going to talk about the attempt to feed crickets to Canadians is not being well received. All of that is coming up. More with Michael Charbon on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
Radio 680 WCVM.
When the budget was released, I was shocked to find out that Prime Minister Carney is cutting $7 billion between Indigenous Services Canada and Crown Indigenous Relations.
Gotcha.
They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is up.
Whoa. Hold on a second. I got to hear that again because I don't even know who the hell I'm rooting for right now.
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
Okay, now we've just reached critical stupid Michael Charbon. That is Leah Gazan for the new Democrat Party up there, and that's the new classification of people, I guess.
Yeah, they have to add more letters because everybody was getting too used to the LGBTQ 2, 4, 5 and your multiplication. You know, I think we really have to state a fact here that a nebulous 3% of the population. Some say it's 5% because if you add 2% of people who are bi, that means they swing both ways.
Yes.
Either way, whatever fills your boot, as they say in Newfoundland, 3% of the population. 3% of the population, so 97% of the other folks have to address 3%. I'm sorry.
No. You need to listen to this, Michael. You are just really wrong here. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada, which doesn't sound Soviet at all, says that further colonialism has entailed the imposition of Western gender norms on the Indian Act, residential schools, and other colonial systems. The 2S working group identified a need to develop a two-spirit specific gender-based analysis tool to ensure the realities of our two-spirit and indie queer relatives are reflected and fully incorporated into this action plan, and to address the exclusion and a missed opportunity to describe the imposition of binary gender identities onto indigenous people.
Stop,
so you're just so full of it.
Stop! Don't say that. You're confusing people.
You know, when the acronym becomes longer than the group, then you got a problem.
No, every second word you got to look up in the dictionary and say, what the heck does that mean?
Because it's faculty lounge gobbledygook.
No, unfortunately, it's the cat-owning Karens who believe that they have to stand up for every... You know, unfortunately, when you walk, you step on ants. You don't necessarily do it because you want to kill an animal species, but you kill ants because we walk. Yes. The reality is it is outside of what 97% of the rest of the population considers as a norm.
Yeah.
We have, in this society, by the grace of North America, said, hey, if that's your thing, man, as long as you do your thing, you don't affect anybody else, if that's what you have to do, we're going to respect you because we're not going to tell you what you can, and we're not going to throw you off a roof.
Well, you've just offended all members of the...
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
You guys in the MMIA, the LGBTQRSTU, you send your hate mail to Michael Charbon.
You know, it's very disappointing. I think you want to know what? There was a point in years back, and still it exists in many countries, where there is discrimination and there is harm.
Yeah.
North America is the most embracing, gracious, accepting people in the world. And to have a statement like that read is disgusting.
Well, it's all a part of victim culture. That's what let's move on. You were talking about stepping on ants. Ottawa's big bet on the world's largest cricket farm ran into a simple problem, the yuck factor. So they wanted to make protein bars out of crickets. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so the government said we're gonna give them $8 million during the Trudeau regime. So you can just see him and Katy Perry are sucking both ends of a cricket. I mean, so the Canadian government descends to give them $8 million, and then by 2022 they've got $35 million. They're raising critics because they want to eat crickets, you know, it's a replacement.
Yes.
And here we are in 2025, it's been released that the whole thing cost $44 million. And guess who paid?
You guys.
Canadian taxpayer.
Of course. Well, this is they're making cricket flour. This is part of the bourgeois. They eat the filet mignon, and they think that you little people can eat the crumbs. And if you have to eat bugs, then you got to eat bugs. They want to come up with a real cheap alternative so the masses can eat garbage, and they can feast on foie gras. That's the way elites do things. It's just it.
Yeah, but Rob, you know what they keep forgetting, though? To produce this stuff, you have to have chemically engineered stuff, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, and all this processed stuff. And here we are saying we got to get away from chemically produced and over-processed. So let's grow a cricket, because no one wants to eat it because it looks ugly. We'll kill it and dry it and ground it up and add stuff to make it taste like filet mignon that costs more, is worse for you.
Yeah.
But goodness, you're going to feel better.
Well, it's the same way with the fake meat. The fake meat thing that was there for a while. We all discovered that it was actually much, much worse for you than eating regular meat. It's remarkable. Michael Charbon, we have to go, my friend. Adieu, my good friend. Tell everybody where they can find your glorious Charbon report and your work on the social media.
I'm on Newsmax every Thursday, every Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
On Glasgow Show,
yes.
And the Charbon Report on YouTube and michaelacharbon.com. Thank you, Rob Carson.
All right.
And salute.
And again, all you MMIWG bar, whatever the hell, send him your hate mail. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. I told you, conservative comedy is on the ascent because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. Right? Honestly, you people are just nuts. Hello, guys. How are ya? Mickey Hastings, deplorable dinosaur. All you guys watching on the YouTubage today. You having fun? I'm having fun. I'm having fun making fun of these people. Alex Jones living in a nut hut. You're right. Honestly, Alex Jones is... He's insane. You ever watch him when he's on set? He take his shirt off, like he should take his shirt off. He has no musculature at all. He looks like a fire plug with back hair. Honestly, ridiculous. What a frickin' moron. Honestly, what an unlikable person. And his voice, it's like a gargled sulfuric acid. How could you listen to that voice and take him seriously? Anybody who watches his show is borderline. Conservatives never send me Alex Jones material. They never send me Alex Jones material. You know why? Because Alex Jones is freaking nuts. No conservative sends me stuff from Alex Jones like it has credibility. And it's because no Trump conservatives think he's intelligent or sane. That's just the way it is. New York Times reported on the fake 10-point plan. Unbelievable. Where is that? Here we go. I'm going to play that soundbite. Nobody passes around Alex Jones stuff in conservative circles because we all consider him to be nuts. Anyway, Netanyahu's ready to start fighting again. Good. I want to wipe him out. All right. All righty. I got to get back to talking here. I was trying to get the chat for the Facebook, but I don't see you guys. Here we go. I got to talk.
3.5.
All right, well, you know what? Let's hit that line a little bit. The mullahs ended Persian civilization. Hello.
That's what I said.
To the people of Iran, they feel like Persian civilization has been completely taken over, and it has been. I interviewed somebody yesterday who actually is a dissident who fled Iran. I'm going to put it up on the ops desk, my website. Really interesting thing. His perspective is that it was a hostile takeover. He wants to go back to Iran pre-Islam. That's how far back that a lot of young people are looking. They're saying we want to be secular, and that this whole thing was a hijacking of our civilization. I've never actually heard that from like a young guy. He's an American. He's here.
Yeah, but I said that on Monday. There you go. So thank you. But thank you, Paul Morrow. I actually like Paul Morrow. He's a pretty cool guy. New York Times, CNN reported the fake 10-point plan that Chris Badcombe-Murphy reported as well. Honestly, we've reached a new low. This is why I say you got to overwhelm the left with joy and patriotism. And all these people who are falling by the wayside from the MAGA movement, like Alex Jones, honestly, I'm glad they're purging themselves. I'm glad Tucker Carlson's purging himself. I'm glad Candace Owens has purged herself. Nobody ever, no person ever, an intelligent conservative ever sends me material or points from Alex Jones, because Alex Jones is nuts. He is just a nut. And now he's saying that Donald Trump should be removed by the 25th Amendment. Alex Jones is certifiable. If you listen to him saying that someone should be removed from office because they're nuts, honestly, wow. We'll get into that next hour. I'm just kind of done with it. Also, crazy cat lady update. We got a crazy cat lady update. And also, Victor Davis Hanson picks apart Jennifer Siebel, the Barbie doll arm candy of Gavin Newsom. The dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971. Gold was $35 an ounce. Today, the dollar has lost 85% of its buying power. Gold has increased by 12,000%. Maybe you ought to reevaluate part of your retirement plan. Maybe you should consider some gold, maybe some silver. Who the hell knows? But it starts with education. Birch Gold isn't going to pressure you into buying gold. They're going to offer you information so you could consider it. They have a Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. It is online, and it offers rewards for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase. Get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you earn. But you got to do it now, because this all ends on the end of the month. And that's the 30th. It's already the 9th, for crying out loud. It's already the 9th. The dollar lost its anchor in 1971. You don't have to use yours. Text my name, Rob, to the number 989898 to get into this Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Again, they're not pressuring you. They want to educate you. How many times do people want you to get into investment? Well, you sit down and just learn everything about it. No, it's better. Oh, just buy. We'll take care of you. I'm your advisor. Just listen to me. Birch Gold is saying, no. Sign up. We'll tell you about it. We're not going to pressure you. And you can learn and even earn. How about that? Text Rob to 989898 today. We've got much more coming up, including Tucker Carlson telling the military to defy Donald Trump. Unbelievable. And New Yorkers do not approve of Zohran Mamdani. Let's take a break and come back. This, my friends, is the Rob Carson Show.
to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show. Brigadier General Blaine Holt's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. He has a podcast called Dangerous Intellectuals, a very entertaining podcast, and he has a lot of great guests, and you ought to check it out, dangerousintellectuals.com if you get a chance to. Also, this weekend, Rob Carson's What in the World is my TV show, and it's kicking butt. Been doing it a couple of years, actually 6 years now. It's going to be on Saturday afternoon at 3 and Sunday night at 8:30, following Dr. Michael Savage. It's Newsmax only comedy show, and Donald Trump told me that it makes me the funniest guy on television. So there you go. There's a lot of things I want to get to this hour, including Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones here in a little while. Just amazed. The White House is blasting the fake news media for pushing the Iran propaganda 10-point plan that Iran came up with that said things like, yeah, Donald Trump's going to let us keep our uranium. And it was a lie. It was a bunch of crap, to be quite honest. And here is, let's see, I got... J.D. Vance. I got a bunch of stuff from J.D. Vance, and I've got a bunch of stuff from Pete Hegseth, by the way. Here is Pete Hegseth and J.D. Vance with regard to our expectations. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And it sounds like Iran's kind of leaning into getting their asses bombed out, right? I mean, because literally, right now, Netanyahu is saying, okay, we're ready to go back. We're ready to do this again. And what may really have happened here is that Iran's given us a time to kind of regather, regroup and whatnot, and resume the butt kicking, because they're playing around. They can't be trusted. The people in power there, the IRCG, the remnants of whatever remains of the Ayatollah's regime, just needs to be wiped the heck out. Yeah.
To ensure that Iran complies.
We want Iran to not be able to make a nuclear weapon. We want the nuclear fuel, which is something the president has made very clear. And there's, again, the way to think about this is the United States has certain demands and certain things that we want. The Iranians have things they can get out of the negotiation. The more that they're willing to give us, I think the more they're going to get things out of this negotiation. And frankly, the president has all the cards here. We've got a lot of leverage. We've got a lot of things that we can do. But right now, I think that we're in a good spot.
That is done with the New York Times and others reported yesterday. They read the propaganda that the Iranian regime was cranking out. Here is Hegseth talking about what the Iranians need to understand.
Let me just say this. I actually wonder...
J.D. Vance here on the tarmac than Hegseth.
How good he is at understanding English, because there are things that he said that frankly didn't make sense in the context of the negotiations that
He's talking about the Iranian foreign minister.
We've had. He said, we refuse to give up the right to enrichment. And I thought to myself, you know what? My wife has the right to skydive.
Yes.
But she doesn't jump out of an airplane because she and I have an agreement that she's not going to do that because I don't want my wife jumping out of an airplane.
Yeah, there you go.
The deal is a ceasefire, a negotiation. That's what we give. And what they give is the straits are going to be reopened. If we don't see that happening, the president is not going to abide by our terms if the Iranians are not abiding by theirs.
And it's because we have effectively wiped out their military-industrial complex altogether. So the thought that they have any ability to demand anything, I always say you're not in the position to demand anything. It's like college students demanding that we divest from Israel. It's like, no, get your asses to your classes. You're not in the position to demand anything. You're not. And then, all the adults in the room during the summer of 2020, could have just stood and said, you're not in the position to demand anything. How about shut up? You can't demand this. You can't demand that. We're not getting rid of your Christopher Columbus statue. We're not going to do this. Nonsense. You're not in a position of power or authority. Nonsense. Same goes here. Here is Pete Hegseth and Caroline Levitt talking about nukes being off the table. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon.
Non-negotiable that they won't have nuclear capabilities. And so right now it's buried and we're watching it. We know exactly what they have. And they know that. And they will either give it to us, which the president has laid out. they'll give it to us voluntarily. We'll get it. We'll take it out. Or if we have to do something else ourselves, like we did Midnight Hammer or something like that, we reserve that opportunity.
This is on the top of the priority list for the president and his negotiating team as they head into this next round of discussions. And as I said in my opener, that is a red line that the president is not going to back away from. And he's committed to ensuring that takes place. We hope it will be through diplomacy.
But have they given any indication that they would turn it over?
They have.
They have?
Yes.
Now, to show you how embedded the media is with the Iranian regime against America, they hate Donald Trump. Okay, they're willing to do anything to Donald Trump. They were willing to believe everything about Donald Trump. They fell for all of the nonsense, the raid on Mar-a-Lago, the political weaponization of the DOJ against him with all of these court cases and whatnot. The impeachments, all of that. That's the side they hate Donald Trump. They want Donald Trump out. But unfortunately, by doing that, they're also really endangering and demeaning our military and the efforts that they are having. Here is Caroline Leavitt being asked and insulted by a media member about America having the high ground versus Iran.
How can the president claim that America can ever have the moral high ground if he's threatening to destroy civilizations?
Again, this is a regime that has threatened to destroy America and Israel since its inception 47 years ago, has committed thousands of acts of terror, has resulted in tens of thousands of deaths and injuries, the subjugation, enslavement, and slaughter of women in their own country, the erasure of that country's culture, all of it erased to be replaced by Sharia law. And he's asking this question.
Not casting wars as fights against other governments.
Andrew, I think you should take a look at the actions of this president over the course of the past 6 weeks.
Like Maduro being taken out. That happened before, but they got rid of Maduro, and it's the people in Venezuela are going to be freed there, and then all the peace deals that he's made around the world and stuff.
The actions of our brave men and women in our United States military, who have taken out essentially taken out the military of a rogue Islamic regime.
Yeah, that's what Iran is, but now they're the darlings. That regime is the darlings of the media and the Democrat Party.
That has chanted death to America for 47 years.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
That has killed and maimed thousands of American soldiers over the course of the last
That's what I just said.
decades. The president absolutely has the moral high ground over the Iranian terrorist regime, and for you to even suggest otherwise is frankly insulting.
I love that. I love the fact that she gave him what an absurd thing to say, honestly. It really has gotten so bad. The Democrat Party and the American media, they would rather have the Ayatollah still alive. They would rather have the Iranian people enslaved. They don't care about the 35,000 people that they murdered. When has the media said anything about the 35,000 people that have been murdered for just taking to the streets and protesting the regime? Where is it? Where is it? It's kind of like the Bush administration after Tiananmen Square when they turned off the lights and murdered all the students. They say as many as 10,000 students murdered in Tiananmen Square, murdered, crushed by tanks, their bones and remains swept into the sewer system. I've done a lot of reading on it. It was covered up. Their remains were entangled with the remains of their bikes. And the Bush administration forgot about it. The American media forgot about it days later. And this is what they're doing now. Here's Caroline Leavitt being asked about Donald Trump's comments on civilizational destruction when it comes to the Ayatollah.
Why is it appropriate for the President of the United States to use that kind of language when talking about civilian targets?
Well, I understand the questions about the president's rhetoric, but what the president cares most about is results.
How can the president claim that America can ever have the moral high ground?
Okay, we've already gone there. Here is J.D. Vance being asked the same question on the tarmac outside of Air Force One in Hungary.
Threat to wipe Iranian civilization off the map still on the table. And is it fair to keep 90 million Iranians under that threat?
We're going to kill 90 million Iranians, you moron.
Actions of their leaders.
Well, look, the leadership is really to blame for the condition of the country in Iran. The President of the United States has made very clear that the United States has a lot of leverage here. We have economic leverage. We've got military leverage. What he's trying to do is make sure the American people are safe and strike a deal that's good for the American people. I encourage the Iranians to come to the table seriously. We've seen some signs that they're going to do that. We've seen some signs of bravado. fundamentally, we're in a good spot. They're reopening the straits. We have a ceasefire. And frankly, if they break their end of the bargain, then they're going to see some serious consequences.
But wiping them off the map is different.
There we go. Blah, 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 blah. You know, honestly, that happened on Sunday. All right? And we've already explained why he said that. Because he is going up against a regime that wants to wipe us off the face of the planet. And his words, Donald Trump's words, brought them to the table. So we didn't have to bomb them.
Than an economic leverage or military leverage. Why is that kind of language?
The words worked better.
Useful in this.
It was useful.
Kind of scenario.
Well, again, the President of the United States is...
did it result in a ceasefire and the Straits of Hormuz being opened?
Saying that unless the Iranians do the right thing, he is going to have some serious consequences for the regime. We obviously don't want the people of Iran to suffer, but we have a lot of leverage that the President of the United States could use, and it's why I think it's so important for the Iranians to be negotiators in good faith.
Here's what's going to happen. This is my prediction. The Iranians are going to F around and find out. That's what's going to happen. And we're going to come up with a strategic way to eliminate their bridges and their infrastructure, and then the Iranian people are going to take over. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. We'll take a break and come back. We'll get to Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson, a new parody from Jim Gossett as well on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
One thing I would like to see updated is the word homeless to the word unhoused.
How about new?
You know, and while you're at it, let's just add to the LGBTQIA plus acronym.
Deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIWG2SLGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
And also R2D2 and C3PO. We're tired of the discrimination against, what the hell, honestly, wow, you people are just nuts. That's Canada, by the way. I know, you're surprised as me. Unbelievable. There's just a lot of insanity going on. I had a little montage I wanted to play here. Let me see if I can find it. I'll get to it 1 second here. The Democrat Party has been just throwing a temper tantrum for about a decade now. Here. These are Democrats actually demanding that Donald Trump be removed from office.
We need to be demanding that Congress convene today, and we need to be invoking the 25th Amendment.
This is a very dangerous moment and a very dangerous president.
Okay, that is just this week from Democrats. Here they are again.
What exactly would have to happen to invoke the 25th Amendment in this country?
Obviously, in an ideal world, you would try to invoke the 25th Amendment, which I think is amply justified.
The man is deeply mentally unstable. The cabinet should...
Yeah, that was during Trump's first administration. And I'm really getting sick and damn tired of this crap, to be quite honest. And now they're saying Donald Trump has to be impeached.
There is no doubt that this president's conduct has already exceeded any prior standard for impeachment.
No, not at all, actually. You already impeached him twice. You jerks. Just getting tired of it. I'm getting sick and tired of it. And it doesn't help with morons like Alex Jones, who is a nutbag. And it's just amazing how many... I was always kind of careful about, picking on Alex Jones because his nutbag supporters would write me or whatever. And I'm going to tell you, here's how I can tell that Alex Jones is not taken seriously by MAGA supporters is because no one ever sends me material clips from Alex Jones like it has any credibility. And here is Alex Jones with another nutbag, Slobert Barnes. Slobert Barnes, dear God, looks like he should be playing darts, on the weekends at a little Irish pub, where he lives in the basement. I mean, honestly, here is Alex Jones, nutbag supreme, and Slobert Barnes about removing Donald Trump from office.
Current existential threat. How do we 25th Amendment is asked?
The problem is to get the 25th Amendment is harder than impeachment. You have to get 2/3 of the
Yeah,
House.
Alex, it's the problem is it's hard to get to it. 2/3 of the
So
Senate
what do we do?
Tackle Trump and let him pretend he's president and publicly...
Yeah, let him pretend he's president there, Alex Jones.
Report that he's going through a health issue and Vance take over. It literally needs to be something
good luck with that. You're going to have to walk over about 80 million of us, Alex.
like that. It's that bad.
I've known you a long time. You've never called for an internal coup before.
Ever. But that's how dangerous this is. That's how risky it is for the whole
Yeah, if I was the
world.
Democrats, I'd stop.
Oh, my God. How could you listen to his voice? How could you listen to his voice? He gargles every morning with sulfuric acid. And then there's Tucker Carlson. Now, Tucker Carlson is just a blue blood, country club, silver spoon, elite. That's what Tucker Carlson is. Never been into a Walmart. He doesn't understand you and me. He doesn't understand the suffering we went through under the Biden administration. He would never hang out with you and he might want to be a part of you. He'd give you a little slight and then he'd go to his country club. That's Tucker Carlson. I used to consider him to be an intellect, and I appreciated some of his commentaries, but he's off the rails. Here he is talking about military should not obey Donald Trump, even after the most successful military campaign, one of the most successful in our history, taking out Iran as a state-sponsored terrorist organization with proxies around the world.
It is the logic of escalation in this war because in some sense, Mark Levin is right. We are not going to open the straits with the United States Marine Corps, the 82nd Airborne, or...
No, we're going to do it actually by bombing the snot out of them.
The Tier 1 operators that everyone on cable news seems to know so much about. The Tier 1 operators, Tier 1. Just guys, like some of the best guys actually in America could be killed in this. That's a better way to put it. It's a more real way to put it.
Well, I think about over 3,000 were killed during the Afghanistan and Iraq conflict. So there's that there. Tucker.
They are not going to open the strait. And so unless
he's going to be proven wrong.
Somebody puts the brakes on right away,
listen,
we're going to wind up in a place that we can't even imagine. Not just Iran, us and the rest of the world. And so that means, because this is obvious to anyone who's paying any attention, that if you
I'm paying very close attention, and you're wrong.
Work in the White House or in the U.S. military, now it's time to say no, absolutely not, and say it directly to the president, no. In case you're thinking about using some weapon of mass destruction against the population of Iran, in whose name we liberated Iran.
No, he's not. He's going to go after their infrastructure to bring it to the table. Tucker, and I mean, honestly, what happened? What happened? This is Jim Gossett as Tucker Carlson. The Rob Carson Show.
I can't defend making Nick Fuentes my friend. What kind of message does that send? Could be the end.
Oh yeah, he's done. I don't even subscribe to him anymore.
Just as I feared. My support has disappeared.
You and Megan and Alex could be a throuple.
Folks now think that I'm weird.
No, Candace I think would be better. Yeah, get Candace.
I'm not revered. Hanging myself. It seems that I'm hanging myself every day. Hanging myself. Don't know why I'm hanging myself.
Yeah, exactly. Here is Scott Jennings on CNN, and this is what's going on. If Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson thinks the MAGA's going to follow them off a cliff, they're not.
I don't deny the usefulness of having surrogates and allies, but I think you're oversubscribing their importance and
all of a sudden CNN loves Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson.
Subscribing the importance of Trump himself. And I think, frankly, the only reason we're playing them on our air right now is because they're useful to a narrative.
Yes.
We don't consider these people to be credible at any other time until they are attacking Donald Trump. Otherwise, we call them crazy. Otherwise, we call them crazy.
No, I'm being careful. I'm being very careful about it because I said I don't view Alex Jones as credible. I don't view Tucker Carlson as a conservative anyway. Is what it is. However, I do travel the country and talk to a lot of Trump voters who listen to these people. And I respect them and their choices. And they do listen to them. I'm not saying they side with them, but they do.
I'm not disagreeing they listen. I'm not disagreeing they listen. But again, I would just say listening to someone and taking their word for everything over Donald Trump every day. I just
let me ask you a question.
Right on the money. He is right on the money. They may listen to Alex Jones, but they draw a line and go, he's full of crap when he goes down this road. Same with Tucker Carlson. Take a break and come back. Blaine Holt joins us on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson. I just got a ghost bed. Yeah, no, pay attention here, because I've been sleeping on a foam mattress since I moved to the Washington, D.C. area, which is like sleeping on the sponge in your sink. Ghost Bed doesn't build mattresses like furniture. They build engineered sleep systems. Their beds are serious health equipment. Beds designed for relief and recovery, not looks, not fluff. Your body should be healing while you sleep, not fighting for comfort. I have been sleeping past 7 in the morning on my Ghost Bed. It's unbelievable. If you wake up stiff, you toss and turn, if you sleep hot, even reaching for a pain reliever before bed, hoping tonight will be different, that's not aging. It's your mattress talking. Another great thing I love about Ghost Bed, you get 101 nights to try it at home. If you don't like the difference, you can send it back risk-free. Ghost Bed is offering my audience their lowest prices of the season, plus an extra 10% off. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. You are going to love your new Ghost Bed.
Deported.
Deported. Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here. Deported. 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 Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here.
In Harford County.
Donald Trump just caved, backing down from his fake deadline.
Well, all day today, everyone, most notably the people of Iran, were wondering if their civilization was going to die tonight. Well, good news, it didn't. It was the Taco Tuesday of all Taco Tuesdays.
It's been very obvious for the last few days that the president was looking for an off-ramp.
The taco, Trump always chickens out syndrome.
We just can't accept a president who is literally promising to destroy an entire civilization, to murder hundreds of thousands of innocent human beings. That alone should be grounds for the removal of this president.
Oh, dear God.
But he thinks, I guess, that the threat of mass-scale war crimes has achieved some success.
I got to tell you, I've never seen anything like it. We hear from Donald Trump, the New York Times, and CNN, and Chris Murphy, all reported the fake 10-point plan from the IRCG that said that, oh yeah, Donald Trump has said that we could keep our nukes, and they all fell for it. Now it's just become spewing our enemy propaganda. Here to talk about this and so much more is the host of Dangerous Intellectual, the terrific podcast, the one, the only, Blaine Holt, Brigadier General. How are you today, my friend?
Sailing through the week, man. It's just one drama after another.
Well, he went from tyrant to taco in a week.
He did, didn't he?
Name one thing. Name one thing he's chickened out on. Please tell me one thing that Donald Trump has chickened out on.
No, I don't really have. I don't have any answer for you on that one. What I will say is that he has taken extremely large but calculated risks.
Yes.
In a world that demands that he takes calculated risks, because he inherited a world on this second administration that is right at the abyss of World War III. And so, unfortunately, that's going to call for very strong medicine, and the medicine's been different in every single part of the globe. He doesn't take a sledgehammer to every single problem.
Yeah.
He's taking a lot of fifth-generation warfare into this problem. I can appreciate what they're doing, It doesn't mean it's not fraught with risk, and it doesn't mean that we're going to come through this with flying colors. We're in the middle of it.
Yeah, we are. The calls to limit Iran enrichment will fail, according to the chief of Iran's nuclear program, Mohammad Aslami. This says to me that we're gonna eventually get back to bombing bridges and electric generation plants.
I kind of think I think you're right, but the big thing is, and what everybody needs to understand is, every single thing that flies out of the current regime in Iran's mouth is not aimed at President Trump or us or the West or anybody else. It's aimed at the Iranian people, because that's the enemy they fear the most at this point.
Yeah.
And then they fear each other after that, which is the loyalty amongst the mullahs and the IRGC leaders is caving. So every day that goes by, they're all wondering, did you flip? Did you turn? Did you talk to a Mossad guy? Did you talk to a CIA guy?
Yeah.
Were you talking to revolutionaries? And so right now, the only thing they have left is to portray some false image that they're negotiating with a peer called the United States. And so they're making a lot of announcements that are just crap. One thing that is true is nothing's going through the Straits of Hormuz, and that's where I think we'll start to see action here fairly soon.
So what is going on, and how are they able to do this, considering their diminished resources, military resources?
I think we'd have to go ask the UK that. So let's go find out from those wonderful darlings from the City of London and Lloyd's of London whether they're offering insurance wrappers to boats to go through there. And if they're not, why? And then the other part is this toll nonsense. Well, we can stop them from collecting tolls. You can take a look at Maritime Tracker all for yourself and see where the, quote, toll booth is. That's nothing more than an A-10 mission. So we really do need to tell the world. And President Trump has just done that in his meeting with Mark Rutte, by the way. He went and told Europe and said, I want action on the Straits within days, not months, not you think about it. He's kind of dictating the way it's going to have to be.
Yeah. This is let me see. Chuck Schumer. I want you to hear Chuck Schumer. This is how badly the Democrats started off day one when we vaporized the Ayatollah, saying that it was a disaster. They've said we're in a quagmire and all of this. And yesterday, Chuck Schumer said we've accomplished nothing.
The bottom line is that Iran still has its nuclear stockpile. Its nuclear ambitions. Iran still has its nuclear stockpile. Its nuclear ambitions.
Oh, sure, they might have that. They don't have the access to them.
Are still unchecked, if not accelerated.
No, they're not.
And finally, American credibility. The nations of the world are furious at Trump.
Who gives a rat's behind about the elites of the world who are furious at Trump? Honestly, that man is ridiculous.
I'm glad he brought that up, though, because it's the elites of the world that are the problem. That's where this real war is. If you want to look at Iran, Israel, you're just looking at a battlefield in a global war. This is World War III. Nobody's going to announce it for you to make you understand that's what you're in. But this is, and I'm on my podcast, I'm interviewing here very shortly Vivify Mariposa, who's one of the best, most articulate writers on Substack about this particular issue, in who the real enemies are, what a deep state is, and that this is why President Trump is running around trying to put a fire blanket on all of it.
Yeah.
And we've got to get aligned with this this country called Israel that says they're our number one ally.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. They're our ally. But then don't have your finance minister show up on a soapbox and say, hey, now the next thing we're going to do is start annexing territory in Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza. Not really great politics while we're all supposed to be allied in a war, by the way.
Yeah. What do you think about two people, and I don't really care for Alex Jones, never have. I think he's insane. He's saying that Donald Trump needs to have the 25th Amendment to remove him from office. I mean, honestly, he was never he was never true to the movement, and he's also insane. Right. What do you think about him? And then I want to ask you about Tucker Carlson. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Alex Jones, I would question his motivations, because this is a guy who's been all over the place ideologically, and we can all be critical of plans and strategy, but understand that we are America and we are involved in a conflict, and we need to rally around our leadership and the troops. But we can have thoughtful dissent here and there and say, no, I think we should do it this way. I think we should do it that way. That's what makes us a great nation. And then we come together around realistic solutions. But the man's got a big voice. He's got a big microphone. And, whipsaw turning on the president because you don't like the decision of the day, that's not dissent. That's actually something quite different. I won't use the word, but you know what it is.
Sedition? Is that the word you're looking for? Sedition? Is it sedition? Could be sedition.
It rhymes with mendition.
Yes. I want to get with Tucker Carlson on the other side. He says that military leaders should defy Donald Trump, which I believe that Democrats said a few months ago, and they were very close to being in some serious trouble. We'll take a break and come back more with the great Blaine Holt on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey, guys.
strange to be gleeful if you make these kinds of let's go for the 25th Amendment, and then then we have a ceasefire. Then it's like taco. I mean, like you can't have it both ways. I mean, so where we are, it's like strange to be gleeful that that we still have to accomplish some things and make these kinds of statements. I mean, I'm old enough to remember we used to root for our military.
It is John Fetterman, one of the only voices of reason. We have a Confederate Democrat Party. That's really what we have here. We have a country that's not only against the man who's won the election and is in charge, but also is rooting against the country. And I would venture to say that borders on Confederate thinking. Blaine Holt, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a very, very tough situation. I think amongst analysts, journalists, especially as famous as Tucker Carlson is, you have lines. I mean, there really are serious lines. So I hope that it's true that Tucker doesn't really think at any time that a bona fide elected commander-in-chief should have the military turn on him simply because, in the journalist's opinion, it's the wrong war. I that's a line you shouldn't cross. I hope he doesn't really think that. But quite honestly, I do think that Tucker needs to step back and take a look at the hyperbole and say, did I cross a line as an American citizen here? You know, Lincoln, during the Civil War, he was very pointed about sedition charges on those that crossed lines. There were some very prolific cases. Clement Vallandigham was one of the most prolific of writing anti-war stuff at a level that was well beyond the other journalists. And I'm not saying it's time to round up journalists.
No.
And dissent is fine. Listen, I watched every bit of that Tucker Carlson monologue, and it was just that part that I was like, look, I get it. You have this differentiation in your opinion, but man, when you get into the chain of command with the commander-in-chief, unless you're decrying that the president is guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors, you're really flirting with a zone that I would caution you on.
When I use Confederate, I'm not talking about like the Confederacy. I'm using it as an adjective. It is a behavior. It is a behavior. Confederate behavior is not associated with the Confederacy of the Civil War. It is just it is a mode of thinking. It is a whatever. And I think it's really shameful. And I think our military has done a yeoman's job. Bradley Cooper was talking about what they have done. Here is Bradley Cooper talking about Iran treading cautiously.
This is gritty and unforgiving business. It's chaotic. It's hot, it's dark, it's unpredictable, and there's always unknowns. And our people proudly walked into those unknowns and continue forward. And through it all, the Joint Force has demonstrated the unwavering resolve that the nation demands of us. And today we have, while be ready should that peace break, which we hope it is not. And we remain ready.
Here's the deal, and this is why the temperature is up here, is because we have experienced so much success in the first 6 weeks of this operation. And also, you look at the rescue of the 2 pilots. You look at the Artemis mission. They're trying to drown out all the goodness. They really are. They're trying to drown out the goodness. They are trying to overwhelm the truth with lies. And that's really why we're here right now. I think the military is rock solid. They said we get a little breather. And if Iran screws around, we'll bomb the style out of them.
Yeah, and what I really liked, in Admiral Cooper's words, he's professional, he's measured, but you absolutely can hear the ownership and the pride he feels for the forces he now commands in battle. And so, again, we get back to the start, which is we have to roll this up to, well, who owns the media? The globalists, largely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who has the influence operations and all the bots in the social media spaces? Largely the globalists. Who are they in league with? Just about any damn thing that they can co-opt from the Chinese Communist Party right up through the deep state and beyond. And so we have to understand that we are in a 5th-generation warfare battle space. But before you even look at TV and see one bomber dropping a bomb, you have to understand what psychological operations, information operations, influence operations, deception campaigns are. And then you've got to have to apply critical thinking. And that's what I really have been focusing on my own podcast is we've got to reinvigorate thinking for yourself.
Yes.
If you want to subscribe to what Tucker said in that's your opinion, that's fine. But put it all together and say, I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to dig. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to find out about the histories here and how we got to this place. That's essential now.
Yeah. Here is, I want to share Kevin O'Leary talking about what is possible and what people, I think, are trying to cover up. They don't want us to succeed.
UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and of course the Chinese and Singapore and Japan, they'll all pay. And if it's $5 or $6 billion a month, it's nothing.
He's talking about a passage through the strait.
Compared to the value of stability in getting 21% of the world's oil through that strait. I like this outcome. I don't like war, but this tells me the region's coming back big, because if you can get peace in the Middle East, it's one of the fastest growing regions on earth.
There you go again. And the left and those who would parrot the talking points of the Iranian regime are shouting to try to shut him up.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. All the president is suggesting is we have been giving the world, since the United States Navy was nearly born, we've been giving the world a free ride on providing for the security of maritime commerce over the seas, and we haven't asked for a nickel.
Thank you.
Well, what we're saying now is, look, if NATO's not coming, if nobody else is coming, and we've got to solve this problem, then we're the ones who ought to get recuperated for
this.
Absolutely. We're the ones who put blood and treasure on the line, and we're trying to avoid a famine in Europe and Africa. We're trying to get oil and gas stocks back out to the Chinese and Asia. And what do we get? We get kicked in the mouth.
Yep.
And that's just nonsense.
I think I'm getting kind of damn tired of it. I'm going to celebrate this Iranian victory. It will ultimately result in the freedom for the people of Iran. And tomorrow, I'm going to be watching as Artemis splashes down successfully, ladies and gentlemen. That's good news. And I am not going to let them piss on my parade. There you go. General, tell everybody where they can find your podcast.
Hey, come to Dangerous Intellectuals. We are making a splash. Last 2 weeks, I've had Mike Ariza on the oil and gas refineries in California, and then I got Mitch Wexler on last Monday, and both are reporting to me they've had big successes in the courts and working towards President Trump executive orders on all these things. Come find out, because we're winning, and we've got another great one lined up for Monday. We
are, absolutely. Thank you, Blaine. I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hello. Hi, kids. Hello, Scott Davies. Yeah, I'm just tired of the negativity and all that. I refuse to give it up. I'm not going to let the forces of darkness take away from the goodness of the world, because that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. The forces of darkness are trying to shut us up and trying to shout us down and try to keep the world in a dark place, and we're not going. Are we? There you go. We're going to have to take over the Straits of Hormuz if Europe and the allies won't take over it. Iran's not going to be in charge of it. That's just all there is to it. And what's going to happen is we're going to have to wipe out the leadership of Iran and replace it. We won't replace it. The people are going to have to replace it. But that's what's going to have to happen. I'm usually right about this stuff. No, I'm always right about this stuff. It's common sense, right? It's common sense. Common sense, everybody. Trying to get the feed up here on Facebook and see who's watching over here on Facebook. For some reason, it's not loading. So I'm going to reload the Facebook because I want to say hi to you guys. Sometimes it's slow for some reason. But I'm really glad that you guys are watching on YouTube, Scott Davies and Leslie Ladyhawk. Leslie Ladyhawk! I watched that movie, by the way, Ladyhawk, again, about a year or two ago. It looks so cheesy now. It's so cheesy now. It used to be so cool. Oh, my God. It was like a go-to romance movie. It's really cheesy now. Tucker is mad at his parents taking the F out of his first name. Okay. Nice. Oh, you're talking about, somebody says that Fetterman talks the talk but votes with Dems. You're right. He does. He's a partisan. He does have a modicum of common sense anyway, and at least he says that, you know. All right, what are we going to talk about here? I'm going to talk about something else. Kevin Kiley, Steve Hilton. Oh, I got that. Coming up. Here we go.
3:15.
All right, so coming up next hour, we have a crazy cat lady. She can't understand how you could not like liberals. Yeah, I know. Also, Kevin Kiley and Steve Hilton were on with Rob Finnerty last night on Newsmax talking about the high-speed rail project in California, which is nothing more than a boondoggle. It's never going to be completed. California, the state legislature just supported another $1 billion. It's never going to be completed. And Hilton says part of the new plan, they're going to get it done in 2033, and one stretch of it will be by bus. You tell me how in the hell that makes any sense after spending $120 billion. It is beyond belief. And I really hope that Steve Hilton becomes the governor. Victor Davis Hanson also calls out the First Lady of California. She's just a bimbo. She's a total bimbo. I want to mention my ghost bed. I have some friends coming over this week from Pittsburgh, a couple of good friends I've had for a very long time. And they're a married couple and all that, and I'm going to make them sleep in the loft. Sorry, you're not getting the ghost bed. No. No, the king gets his bed. You guys can sleep in the loft. We got a nice little loft, with the other bed that I had, which is, it's pretty good. Not my ghost bed. I got this ghost bed, guys, and I never thought I could sleep this well. I ordered this bed. It was under $2,000. I'll just say that it's it's gigantically cheap compared to other mattresses out there. It arrives. I'm like, okay, it's in a big box. It fairly heavy. I carried it myself because I lift weights. Laid it on the frame, undid it, and then just watched it inflate because it's vacuum sealed. And then it became this about 14, 16 inch thick, full size queen mattress with a topper, and it is the best I've ever slept. I had the same thing happen this morning. I don't want to get up. Normally I'm out of bed. I'm just like, boom, right here. I'm like, no, I'm going to hit the snooze. I'm hitting the snooze. I haven't hit the snooze in years. I got my cell phone going and it offers me the opportunity to snooze. I'm hitting the snooze and going back to sleep. So it's amazing. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. It's an easy name to remember. It's, everybody's, that I have a ghost bed now. But go to ghostbed.com/Carson. It's an American-made product. It's an American-made company. A guy who had a neck injury, couldn't sleep, and he came up with this bed. And I'm telling you, it's revolutionary, and it's not expensive, and it can be in your home in a couple days. It'll be right there, delivered to your door, and just take it in and undo it, and you're like, oh my God, it's fantastic. Ghostbed.com/Carson for 10% savings off already low prices. It will be the best investment in sleep you've made in your life. Ghostbed.com/Carson. Last hour of this here radio program is right ahead. And if I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere.
and now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is hour number 3 of the Rob Carson Show. I hope you've enjoyed it thus far. If you're just joining us, get ready for another hour of fun as we are live on radio stations around the country, including glorious KSCO in Santa Cruz, the Benny media stations in New Hampshire. We are also, of course, at WGMD Rehoboth Beach, where I'm going next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend. I'm heading up to Rehoboth for the first time of the season. I can't wait. I just really, it's weird. I love Delaware. I think Delaware is great. I know Joe Biden, whatever, but my family used to go up there to Rehoboth Beach in the summer, and I'd never lived on the East Coast before. And it's interesting, up and down the eastern seaboard from New Jersey all the way south. It's a very interesting. You got boardwalks. You got these wonderful Thrasher's fries. They're these boardwalk fries. They fry them in peanut oil, and you serve them with malt vinegar. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but it's so good. No ketchup. No ketchup. Stop it right now. And then, of course, they got all sorts of it's just cool. And you go there and you sit on the beach and you play pickleball and you body surf, and you can't scuba dive because you can't see in the water, because of sand and whatever. But it's just it's fun. It's just fun. Duke E. Bear on Rumble said, malt vinegar? Yes, malt vinegar on your fries. That's the way you eat them. Salt and malt vinegar is how you eat Thrasher's fries. Just go and try them, because it's going to change your world. It's going to change your world. And we used to have this tradition we do on the last day that we stayed there. We would do crab eggs Benedict. And if when you guys come here this fall for the trip to D.C., we're going to get a crab cake at some point. Okay, if you guys are going to be coming in from wherever, I'm going to take you. We're going to get a crab cake somewhere, because you have to experience. I got a lot of things that I talk about. There are things that are good, and then there are things that are a gift from God. Okay, it's so good that it has to be a gift from God. Let me give you some examples. All right, cheese is a gift from God. All right, cheese is a gift. That's a gimme. Okay. Pasta is a gift from God, but lasagna on its own is a gift from God. It is part of the pasta subcategory. Pizza is a gift from God. New York pizza is a gift from God. Do you understand what I'm saying? Crab cakes, Maryland crab cakes, are a gift from God. They just are. You have no idea how good they are. I had one the other day. Oh, my Lord. So here's the deal. The trip is October 25th through the 29th. And we are going to just take in this city. I want to introduce you. Somebody says pesto is a gift from God. I'm going to say that. Yeah, I think pesto is a gift from God. I think a Sunday gravy is a gift from God. That's what they call marinara you make all day out here. So anyway, boiled crawfish, pretty close. Yeah, I'm with you. If you got some andouille sausage, potatoes, and corn in there, I got you. Okay. You guys are commenting on social media. Here's the deal. The trip is this fall, October 25th through the 29th. 5 days, 4 nights. Heart of D.C. You're going to be staying at luxury accommodations down there. 6 meals, ground transportation, guides, gratuities, and me. And me. I know. Me. All right. So, travelwithrob.net. Look at you'll get this wonderful, wonderful brochure and all of that, and you're going to want to come. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to show you this city that I've chosen to live in. Travelwithrob.net, 800-383-3131. Barbecue is a gift from God. Kansas City barbecue is a gift from God. There you go. All right. Bagels are a gift from God. New York bagels are a gift from God. They're just, I got a lot of, peanut butter is a gift from God. Really good peanut butter is a gift from God. It is. You know. There's just a lot of things that are gifts from God. Some things are good. Mustard is good. Is it a gift from God? Maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. This is Trey Inks talking about how the American media spewed the Iranian propaganda about the United States capitulating to Iran's demands.
The Iranians are trying to put out disinformation already. And yesterday we reported on a 10-point plan, and I'm told by a U.S. official that was actually an old plan that the Iranians put out because they wanted people to talk about it and try to put their perspective forward. And so we are correcting that today, and we spoke with U.S. officials yesterday who said that is not the latest plan. There is an updated plan that the president agreed to, and despite these efforts by the Iranian regime to try to spin negotiators, this will be incredibly consequential this weekend to see whether or not they are serious about creating a good faith deal.
Now, that is the words of the enemy being spewed, and here's a
stand out
literally
here. One,
a member of Congress, Chris Murphy, spewing the same talking points.
On control of the Strait of Hormuz. That is extraordinary. If you go deeper into the statement from the Iranian National Security Council,
he even admits it comes from the Iranian Security Council. I've talked about this several times, but this is really important. This man is a treacherous, wretched, awful human being.
They claim that Trump has also agreed to Iran's right to enrichment, to suspend all sanctions against Iran.
Again, these are old talking points. How dare, and you know what, Aaron Burnett or whoever the hell this is, she wouldn't push back. She didn't even push back on the propaganda.
And to allow Iran to keep their missile program, their drone program, and their nuclear program. None of that was true. Now, who knows if any of that is true?
But there we go. He even admitted it came from the Iranians, and then he said, who knows if it's true?
Keep their missile program, their drone program, and their nuclear program. Now, who knows if any of that is true, but if at the very least this agreement gives Iran the right to control the strait, that is cataclysmic for...
None of it is true. And honestly, that CNN is just... I got to tell you, I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've never seen anything this treacherous, this bad from the media, especially considering our troops are doing such a good job. Just a brilliant, brilliant job. We should be so proud of them. This is Jack Keane talking about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is not going to make a bad deal, which flies in the face of the lies that he just said.
I know this. President Trump is not going to make a bad deal. He knows these guys. He's negotiated with them more than any previous president has. And he knows they're full of BS at times, that they're going to obfuscate, they're going to promote lies, and our team obviously has to be aware of all of that going into it. I'm assuming that they understand that. The backstop we have here is the president himself.
And, you know, I've told you that we are in a battle of good and evil. It's very clear to me. It has been for a very long time. And you know, the Democrat Party is dying they die like movie vampires, you know, clawing and scratching and doing whatever to drag you into hell with them. And here's the deal. They're going to throw a lot of distractions. They're going to throw a lot of lies at you. This is what evil does. This is what Satan does. Lies to you, tempts you, talks smack about God, says, oh, you know, he's just fooling you. Honestly, you can't trust God. I mean, honestly, why would you be in this situation if God would let you do this? A good God, if a good God would allow this to happen, I mean, how good is God? Seriously, what the hell? This is an old story. This is an old story. And again, you've got to be of good heart. You've got to be a joyous person. And you have to overwhelm them with joy and patriotism. This is Carl Higbee from Newsmax. And I just thought this was wonderful. This is one of the things that Carl does so well. He's a common man. He's a military hero, special forces guy. I talked to him about, you know, do you have PTSD? He goes, Rob, I don't have time for PTSD. I was trained to do all of the things that I had to do over there, and he killed a lot of bad guys. And he is just an outstanding individual. And here's how he opened his show yesterday.
But I also want to address how biblically stupid the majority of coverage has been on this whole thing in the last 24 hours. Right after Trump sent out this gangster truth about the elimination of an entire civilization, every lib rushed to the camera like, no, we have to stop. We have to have a peace deal.
The only way we're going to get out of this is to have some kind of diplomatic solution.
What I'm hopeful of is that some negotiation is going on that can get a ceasefire and end this war.
They were having a negotiation with the Iranians. They just cut it off, and the next day, you know, we're doing airstrikes into Iran.
We need to end this war now. We need an immediate ceasefire. Iran, Israel, and the United States need to stop bombing and have a negotiated settlement.
these people will literally never be happy. This is what I'm saying. The left is more interested in trashing Trump than they are about world peace. It's actually remarkable. It's like a medical talent to be able to shove your head up your own rear so far that you don't even see how ridiculous you look.
Oh, yes, oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is Jim Gossett on the ceasefire, which we got. Democrats said they wanted it. What's the problem?
I got a random blink. They knew they were on the brink.
Stay joyful, stay positive, stay patriotic.
Destruction they did not desire.
Don't listen to Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson. Dear God, what's wrong with you?
Agreed to a total ceasefire. Take it away, Johnny.
Granted them a 2-week ceasefire.
Come on.
If they violate it, that will raise Trump's ire.
Will get higher.
And the bombing resumes.
It's gonna probably happen.
With no ceasefire. With no ceasefire. Bring it home, Mr. President.
New peace plan is on the table. Iran must prove that it is able to honor it. Or no ceasefire. Or no ceasefire.
All right, coming up, we're going to get into
no
the sham that is high-speed rail in California. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
p.m.
Come on.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs?
Boom.
It's okay with me.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How, 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 how. Oh, I love it. I love it. Big Head Todd doing a blues standard. Boom, boom, boom. But I think the all-time best blues song of all time is Voodoo Child. Voodoo Child. I think that's the best blues song ever. I was listening to Tom Morello's version of it. He did a really nice job of it. Best version, I believe, is Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child is there's no comparison. Stevie did a great job. Don't get me wrong. But Jimmy owns it. All right, so I love music, so hope you don't mind me straying off here. I find some I love music. I discover new artists. I was at the gym yesterday and I found this new artist, and it I love it. I love it. I love it every day. I surround myself with some music at some point in my life. I just love it. Gets me fired up when I come in here. Here's one of my favorite songs.
We love to win. Winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning.
Lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning, lots of winning.
It's oh so good.
Here is Kevin Hassett of the Trump administration with some of the winning news in our economy.
What are the efforts in terms of cutting spending right now, Kevin?
Oh, well, I mean, absolutely, we've made a huge amount of progress. And I think the biggest thing that we can point to is that we've cut government employment by, more than 300,000 workers.
I was talking to a guy last night, and he works for the State Department. He's a really cool guy, by the way. Had a delightful conversation. We're going to have a cigar sometime. But he's 55 years old. He's going to retire in 3 years. He's got, he and his wife are just well off. They got another house in Maryland, and they got a house in Costa Rica and all this. And I said, dude, man, how are you going to retire at 55 years old? He goes, government job. I went, oh, yeah.
And those are jobs that are very high paying that are gone forever. And that reduces.
But generally, when you combine the salary and benefits of all of the government jobs compared to the private sector, about 70% more.
This government spending by unthinkable amounts of money.
Meanwhile, I got D word for Richard in my 401k.
Maybe as much as $1 trillion over the next 10 years. We reduced the deficit last year by $600 billion because of higher growth than people thought, and the tariff revenue, and more supply side effect of the tax cuts. That's the kind of thing that we expect to see year after year after year. But if you wonder whether we're serious, look at the cut in federal government employment and understand that that's something that is in the baseline now, and it's a cut that's going to be there for each of the next 10 years.
Yeah, there you go. And, listen, it's great. Maybe it's an opportunity. Because if you left the workforce and decided to stay at home after COVID for 5 years, which 94% of the federal government employees did in this area, maybe your job, it wasn't the most important thing in your life. Maybe it was more about hanging out in your pajamas and doing whatever you do. And it's such a bother to drive back to work. I mean, honestly, maybe I could try something else. I did car sales for a while. Didn't particularly like to do it, but the first month I did it, I made $17,000. I sold the hell out of cars. Here's some more good news. This is the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and they're cutting all sorts of superfluous, nonsensical spending. Listen to this.
So today, I'm signing a memo directing the termination of over $580 million in DOD contracts and grants that do not match the priorities of this president or this department. In other words, they are not a good use of taxpayer dollars. Ultimately, that's who funds us, and we owe you transparency and making sure we're using it well. So here's what we're canceling today.
Listen to this.
There's an HR software effort that was supposed to take a year and cost $36 million, but instead it's taken 8 years and is currently $280 million over budget.
Yeah, we're going to cut that like the high-speed rail in California.
Not delivering what it was supposed to. So that's 780% over budget.
I know, ridiculous.
We're not doing that anymore.
Ridiculous.
Number two, another batch of DOD grants.
Yeah.
$360 million worth this time.
For what?
Decarbonizing emissions from Navy ships, part of the Obama-Biden green agenda. That's $6 million.
Decarbonizing the exhaust from our craft in the military. How stupid!
$0.2 million on something that would diversify and engage the Navy by engaging underrepresented BIPOC students and scholars. Another $9 million at a university to approach equitable AI and machine learning models. I need lethal machine learning models, not equitable machine learning models.
That's perfect. That's fantastic.
And number three,
What's that?
in our ongoing effort to cut wasteful spending on external consulting services,
$30
million in contracts with Gartner and McKinsey. It's IT, purchasing, unused licenses. So when you add it all up, $580 million in DOD contracts and grants, DOGE is helping us cut.
I love that. That is just good news there, right there. And listen, I've always been, when it comes to spending, and I still would, we've got to cut government spending. We're eliminating a lot of waste. A lot of really good things are happening with government waste, but we got to get rid of this deficit, this debt spending, I should say, this national debt. It's got to end. That's the only thing that I've had a real problem with Donald Trump over the years, is that we've not tackled the national debt. This is the First Lady of California, Jennifer Siebel. She is a Barbie dimwit.
What I will say is that I don't know if our country is ready for first partner. Okay. Sadly.
Oh, that's just idiotic.
I don't know if they are. I'd like to think, and
this is what liberals do. They think the least of you.
Work really, 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 really hard for people to see what's been rendered invisible and devalued in our society, and to go, oh, that's actually important.
How did you feel about her wanting to be first partner instead of first lady?
Oh my God, on the first partner. If my wife called me first partner, I'd say, yeah, I'll just get that divorce now.
I mean,
But she went first.
I had mixed feelings.
I thought you liked it.
I liked it because I thought it was.
It's just fascinating. You have this incredible women's caucus and all these allies, and you're not asking about it.
Oh my God, these allies. Oh my God.
And this happens over and over and over and over again. You wonder why we have such a horrific war on women in this country.
There's no war on women in this country, you moron.
And that these guys are getting away with it. Because you don't seem to care.
I've given our boys dolls.
Oh, boy.
Even if they tear the head off.
Your boys are going to grow up and resent you and hate you the rest of their lives. They are. This is going to happen.
When Hunter was really little, I got him a doll because I was like, why should Montana have
Hunter's going to hate you.
a doll? And Hunter needs a doll.
He's going to leave for college and he's never going to come back.
Granted, at one point, Hunter probably ripped the head off. But what I've done with both my daughters and my sons is if I'm reading a book and the protagonist is a male, I just change the he to a she. I do it for my sons because I want them to see.
Again, your son is going to grow up and hate you the rest of his life. It's just going to happen. That's it, because you are nuts. You are an insult to any sort of masculinity a child could have. On the other side of the break, I do want to play Victor Davis Hanson with some thoughts on her. She decided to take her kids on a tour of the South to show them how backwoods and racist people are. It was like a trip to the zoo for her. I'm not kidding. This woman will never be the first partner of California, and Gavin Newsom will never be the president. I'm telling you this. He'll never be the president because he's a failure. He's unlikable. He's dishonest, and he's fake. So all of that's coming up. And then, of course, we'll get to that audio from Steve Hilton about high-speed rail and Kevin Kiley. It's a non-starter. It's going to end when Steve Hilton is the governor of the state of California. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. This fall, you're invited to experience Washington, D.C. in a truly unforgettable way with me, Rob Carson, and other Newsmax listeners. Imagine strolling through our nation's capital as America celebrates 250 years and seeing history come alive with an expert guide. Together, we'll tour the White House Visitor Center, step into the halls of democracy with a guided tour of the U.S. Capitol building, visit Arlington National Cemetery and the changing of the guard, stand in awe before the towering figure of President Abraham Lincoln, and take in the beauty of D.C.'s legendary memorials with a special nighttime illumination tour. Our adventure includes premium hotel accommodations for 4 nights in the heart of D.C., in addition to 6 meals, ground transportation, guides, and gratuities. Space is limited, so don't wait. Visit travelwithrob.net to book your D.C. getaway today, or give our friends at Cruise and Tour a call at 800-383-3131. That's 800-383-3131, or travelwithrob.net. Hey, from your app store. So the high-speed rail in California is nothing more than a boondoggle. It's never going to be completed. It's this is just California. California is a Charlie Foxtrot, I'll put it that way. And sooner or later, people are going to have to be held accountable for it, and people are going to have to go to jail because a lot of politicians knew exactly what's going on. Don't act like they don't know what happens. When you've got 26% of the nation's hospices in L.A. County, and they've got a dozen of them in a strip mall, and or you got daycare centers in Minnesota where there are no kids, and they get millions of dollars, and they're in a strip mall, or they're in an abandoned warehouse, or whatever. Honestly, it's time for thousands of people to go to prison. Thousands of people to go to prison, and if they are naturalized citizens from another country, they need to be denaturalized and removed. That's it. Honestly, I am so done with this nonsense. I'm grateful that it's been exposed. In your wildest dreams, could you have ever imagined the graft and corruption that has been exposed? And now you know why they went after Elon Musk last year. Now you know why they went after his car dealerships, these organized, bought, and paid for protesters who are now no king's protesters. Went after him when DOGE was announced, and he brought a chainsaw onto the stage of CPAC. I was there, and they decided to, instead of saying, damn, that's pretty cool, he's going to cut government waste, which I did, is pretty cool, to bring a big old badass chainsaw up on a stage. I thought it was great. They went as like, oh, he's so threatening. I mean, honestly, are you this feminized as a culture that you thought that was threatening? But they saw it as a threat, and they saw it as an exposition of what they were hiding. In this case, it is the high-speed rail in California. It was originally supposed to be a couple hundred miles from L.A. to San Francisco, and they have just made it into a Charlie Foxtrot. It's been around since 2006, and now there's a very good chance it will never be, actually, it won't be completed. Kevin Kiley was on with Rob Finnerty last night, Rob Finnerty on Newsmax, and I'll just do a little plug for Newsmax. He is so damn good on this show. Rob Finnerty is so good on this show, and Schmidt is great on the show, and Higby's great on the show. These are shows you've got to make part of your evening viewership. It's just that each one of them are different. Each one of them are true to their principles. They will not sell out like Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens. You really need to get a Newsmax Plus membership. You need to start watching Newsmax. Because I was watching this day, I'm like, damn, Finnerty, you owned this. And I wrote him this morning, and Higby, I had Higby's opening monologue last night, and I played it twice today because it's so good, and it's so honest, and it's so connective. That's why Newsmax is kicking butt. But anyway, here is Kevin Kiley on California rail, high-speed rail, and what a joke it is. What a joke it is.
Yeah, well, the answer to your question, why, is political dysfunction. And you don't have to take my word for that. This is actually the term used by the early operator of the rail system. It was a French company that came in. They said, we can't build this here. It's too politically dysfunctional. So they went to Morocco and brought a high-speed train online in 2018. So we're now at the point where, this whole thing, LA to San Francisco, was supposed to be done in 2020. This is what the voters were promised at a cost of $33 billion. And now we're saying, what they're saying 2033, that's just, as you mentioned, for a tiny segment of it. For the entire thing, the New York Times found it's not even on track to be finished this century. And to the cost, I just caught this in the clip you played. He said with the right optimization, it's $126 billion. Right. So if everything goes perfectly.
Yeah, they won another $126 billion. They got 2 new people in charge of it right now. And guess what? Done. No more federal money for it, by the way. Here is Steve Hilton. Hopefully he will be the next governor of the state of California, and maybe California can get back on its rails.
Well, it's over. Kevin Kiley, my friend Kevin, has done the first part of the work by leading the effort to kill the federal funding. Yeah. When I'm governor, we're going to kill the rest of it. As I like to joke in my speeches, I'm going to stop that thing in its tracks. Except they haven't built any tracks, so I can't do that. But we're certainly not putting any more good money after bad. One last thing I'll say on the plan. This is what they laughably call a plan. The last section from Bakersfield to LA, you showed on the map just there. Do you know what they're actually saying that will be?
What?
A bus from Bakersfield to LA. Geez. And they're calling basically that'll take 2.5 hours.
Did you hear what he just said? The last leg of the high-speed rail, which has been shortened by 1/3 and now costs 4 times as much.
Bakersfield to LA, you showed on the map just there. Do you know what they're actually saying that will be? A bus.
Unbelievable. I mean, this is beyond laughable. This is sickening. This is thoroughly bloody sickening. And Gavin Newsom, a couple weeks out, decided to go out and touch base with it and stand there. Oh, we're really excited. Things are really on. And then he just touched base on it. But his name is all over this. He's the guy he's been with it since 2006. He will never be the president. Here's Kevin Kiley saying that, no federal funding. It's done.
That this can't be built without the federal funding. That their entire $126 billion plan is reliant on federal funding. And as Steve just recognized, we have actually cut that funding off. I introduced a bill to do this.
Good.
And it ended up getting passed as part of a larger measure with broad bipartisan support, making high-speed rail permanently ineligible for federal funding.
Good.
So if Steve becomes governor and says that we're abandoning this project, that's simply just recognizing reality. And he's the only candidate that I've heard, or certainly one of the only ones in that race, who is acknowledging that reality, that this is not going to be built.
We have become a third world joke. America has become a third world joke. The same corruption in governments that we used to make fun of, backwoods, what banana republics. We become a banana friggin' republic. More like a Gucci republic in California. It really is just so, I'm just so bloody done with this. This is the stuff of revolutions here, man. Here is Steve Hilton saying that even Californians don't want this crap.
Serious question. Do the people of California even want this anymore?
No. Nobody wants it. Even on its own terms, it was a complete joke because they said it would take cars off the roads, but a tiny fraction. So it never made sense. What we actually need to do is build transportation infrastructure that help people. We need to, the Central Valley, we need to widen the 99 so that the farmers can get their produce to the ports more easily.
Right.
Things like that actually help people every day. Families getting their kids to school, people getting to work.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like you're a kid when they want a pony or they want a puppy and they beg you and they convince you, and I'm going to take care of this pony. I'm going to be the best owner of the pony ever. I'm going to do it. All you got to do is buy this pony for me. This is what Democrats do. They get you to buy the pony, to get you to pony up the money, and then once you get the money, they say, screw it. That's what they do, because all they do is pay off their cronies, their pony cronies. How about that? I just came up with that. Here's Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew talking about business in California.
How do you spend $24 billion on homelessness?
That's another thing. They spent $24,000 million on homelessness, and it got worse.
And not have any results. It sounds sort of mathematically impossible. Right. You know what I mean? Right. It's essentially like saying, I did 24...
all the green energy stuff. Same damn thing. We're still owed. All of the postal vehicles are supposed to be electric. None have been delivered. We've got tens of thousands of school buses electrified. They were supposed to be delivered from Canada. Never delivered. They just take the money, guys.
Billion on home renovations and improvements, and then you walk into my house and you go, this is the same burnt orange tile from the 70s. Yeah. Like you go, well, I've done stuff, and you go, nothing's changed. And you go, well, a lot of it's administration.
Yeah.
You know
well, but let's think about that. It's all opportunity for fraud, right? I mean, think of what happens in the Palisades or in Malibu.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get through the Coastal Commission, and how much money is that going to cost? You have to get surveys, and they raised
$100 million in a concert, and no one got any money.
Right.
And it ends up going to like political organizations, and
then they give it back to the people that are providing the money.
They need to depose these. I can't say it. They need to depose these people. We need to depose these people on the national level. And we did by electing Donald Trump, and they're still fighting us. They need to depose these people and imprison them. Ridiculous. I want to get that audio from Victor Davis Hanson. It's really brilliant. And I got to tell you, I've never heard Victor Davis Hanson so pithy in my life. I mean, just really good. Stick around for that. This is The Rob Carson Show.
yesterday, we successfully executed search and arrest warrants at 10 separate locations and arrested 5 suspects so far throughout Southern California.
Yay.
I'm going to break down the details of this operation in a moment, but first, I just want to make one point very clear. This is just the latest example of the California DOJ's long-standing, ongoing, and successful efforts to combat hospice and Medi-Cal fraud.
No, there you go. That is the Rob Bunta, the AG of California. I want to know why it was allowed to happen. I want to know who was in charge and allowed it to happen, because it should have been very easy to, if you're going to spend our money, you ought to know where it's going. It's our money, for God's sake. But there you go. At least they're arresting people and hopefully, denaturalizing, deporting, doing whatever they have to do, send their people to the jail the rest of their lives. I hope that, I sincerely hope that Tim Roots is next and the AG of the state, Keith Ellison, and I hope also Ilhan Omar is arrested, indicted, tried, denaturalized, deported back to the meth lab trailer park of the world, Somalia. Interesting, I was seeing a piece on Billy Strings. You ever see Billy Strings? He's this young guy. He's like, I think he's in his maybe early 30s. And he plays bluegrass, and he's brought bluegrass to Gen Z. And he's one of the best pickers you've ever seen. And he actually was raised in a meth lab trailer park. He was. He left home and he lived in a trailer park, and his parents got hooked on meth, and he left at 14. He literally lived in a meth lab trailer park. He is so good at Billy Strings. He's my fantasy interview to have him in the studio. I'm going to get Billy Strings in the studio. Oh my God, Dust in a Baggie. It's one of his hits. He played at the Grand Ole Opry. He's bringing picking back like Jerry Reed and Roy Clark and all of the great pickers. All the great pickers. You thought it was dead, it isn't. Victor Davis Hanson in 1 second. Dollar's convertibility to gold ended in 1971. At that time, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Today, the dollar has lost a great deal of its purchasing power. You know this as much as I do. You know it as I do. I mean, dear God, look at the price of a house. You know what? I'm not going to buy a house. I'm not going to buy a house because you know what a medium price house here is? $775 stinking dollars. And I'm not going to have that kind of mortgage payment. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous to have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, whatever the hell, 1,800 square foot for $700,000. You out of your mind? I'll live in an Airstream trailer before I do that. Dear God. That said, gold has increased in value by 12,000%. Central banks buying gold at record levels. Major firms like Vanguard, BlackRock are buying it. You need to learn about it. Why not learn about it? Gold was $2,600 2 years ago. It's $4,600 now. You got to start with education. Birch Gold is doing this online event. You can learn and earn, okay? So just go to, text my name, Rob, to 989898. Birch Gold announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals events. It's going on until the 30th of this month. If you want to take part in it, you better do it now. Free rewards. You sign up for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Get free silver on your next purchase. It's pretty simple. Get even larger incentives as you go. I'm not planning on retiring for about another decade, if I ever do, because I kind of like what I'm doing. And so, I'm going to sit on my gold. I'm going to wait. That's what it's there for. Learn more. Learn and earn. Text Rob to 989898 to enjoy Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. Victor Davis Hanson was talking about Gavin Newsom's wife, who's an insufferable, elite Barbie doll moron. Did I say everything? Yeah, Barbie doll moron. Okay. And she decided she'd take her kids. She said this about a couple weeks ago. She decided to take her kids to the South and tour the South and show the kids how ignorant and racist people are. I don't know if you've been to the South. They are the opposite of that. And I would say 99% of the American people are opposite of that. You'll stop any place in the South if you're a black person and your tire's flat, you'll have a dozen white people there to help you put the wheel back on. I know, I've seen this out of Kansas City. Same damn thing. It doesn't matter. It's all nonsense. It's so outrageous she'd say that. So it's basically like a zoo visit. But she's an elite. And again, she's never going to be the first partner of California, and he's never going to be the governor. Here is Victor Davis Hanson on the elite snotty Barbie doll of California.
Get out, Calvin. You and your wife, his wife, She that was the worst. She said she gave this little interview like she took her children. She claimed, I don't know if she actually did it, on a zoo tour. But the zoo animals were Alabamans and Georgia, and I wanted them to see who Reds.
That's what a lot of the elites in D.C. think of you. That's what Tucker Carlson thinks of you, by the way. He's a snotty elite frat boy, born with a silver spoon, born with a trust fund. In case you wanted to know.
State, basically racist and sex. She didn't quite say that, but I wanted them to see what this country was about and how they could counteract that. So I can you imagine getting in their BMW SUV and driving through Mobile and rolling down? Look, there's one. Is that a giraffe? No, that's a white rhinoceros. Let's go to Mississippi. I hear there's a really weird breed there.
That over there is what they call a redneck. It's a redneck. He's generally white, and he's super racist.
There of white redneck who's horrible, and we can look down on.
Do you know why they call them rednecks? I was a redneck. I worked on a farm growing up. I started working in fields when I was 10 years old. It's because you get so sunburned over your collar from working outside all day. Your neck is red. You idiot.
And they can't hide it. When you had Jimmy Kimmel making fun of Mark Wayne, the Senator Mullen,
plumber,
and saying he's a plumber, a plumber.
Yeah.
These people are so weird because they all pose as the champion of the underclass and the working. They hate the working class.
Yes.
They hate the middle class.
They do.
They hate the DEI people.
Yes.
They just they create this facade of caring to square the circle that they're guilty because they're not comfortable with people unlike them.
Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews. I don't care what color you are. You is whatever you want to say. Homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews. Screw the elites. We don't need them, right? Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Screw them. I was a redneck. I used to have a farmer's tan. You can still see it. Look. You see that? See the difference here? See this? Freckles, damage up here? That's farmer tan. That's farmer tan. Oh, yeah. There's the gun right there. But yeah, I was a redneck. I was a major redneck. Nothing wrong with it being a redneck. Nothing wrong with it at all. Not at all. Yeah, they have zero clue how hard us rednecks work. You're exactly right. They're working people, whether you be black or white or I worked with Hispanics, and I rode in the back of a pickup truck on the way to a field with my brown brothers and sisters. We didn't think twice about it. We didn't say, "Oh, you're a Hispanic." No, we just rode to the field and we did the work. We pitched the bales and we walked the beans and we burned sunburned our necks and came home so dusty. You have so much dust in your nose. We took a shower. You just do this and you just be there forever. And you never felt so tired, but so good after that day work, though. That's the thing about hard work like that. You can lose yourself in it, and then when you get home, when it's over, it really is. It's pretty amazing. It really is. I don't want to do it anymore. Although, I don't mind it every once in a while. Just don't want to do it for a living. All right, time for me to talk. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. How much time I got, Brian? All right. I'll do it a little bit here.
Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Here we go. Last night I was talking to a guy, and it was a fascinating conversation, and he was a man of color, and 55 years old, and we got to talking about Generation X, as I'm a member of Generation X, and I found it odd after so many years, a few years ago, that Democrats started using words like white privilege and all of this, and we had a Gosh darn it, we had a great conversation. We were talking about, I said, what are you, a big wheel or a green machine, man? He goes, I'm a big wheel. And I said, and what kind of bike did you? He goes, a Schwinn Stingray. I said, with the banana seat? Yeah, And we talked about, watching All in the Family and watching Good Times and watching Different Strokes. We didn't think, when we saw Conrad Bain and the two boys, we didn't think of them as a white father and black kids. We thought of them as a family. We just thought of them as a family. And, watching Roots. I remember watching Roots. And I'm supposed to be this white privileged family in Iowa, whatever, on the farm. Making no money, buying one pair of shoes every year. That's how we were, man. But we watched Roots, and we sat there slack-jawed and saw Kunta Kinte and heard the story. And we just thought it was, tragic, It just, we didn't think twice about it. And I think that all of this division and bullcrap is just from the elites, to be quite honest. It's just ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. And so, Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews. I said that, I use that. It's going to be the title of my book. We're working on it. It's going to be called Homeboys, Hillbillies, and Hebrews, How We Came Together to Save America. Because there is more that brings us together than separates us, by sure. Oh, yeah.
Homeboys, Hillbillies.
Where is it? Are you going to play it? Where'd that go?
Hebrews are Rob Carson's friends.
There you go. Thanks for reminding me of this, Brian.
Better believe that they will be friends to the end.
William Straight.
Willie.
Come on now.
A new coalition to promote freedom. They're all about liberty.
We love America. 250 years.
The perfect trio to combat the left and look out for you and me.
There you go, people. Bring together now.
Mamas, please let your babies grow up to be homeboys.
You can be a homeboy, you can be a hillbilly, you can be a Hebrew, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Hillbillies and Hebrews is who you should raise. You'll receive nothing but absolute praise.
There you go.
Homeboys, hillbillies,
so we got
and
to overwhelm
Hebrews.
the left. We got to overwhelm the left with joy and patriotism. I'll handle the mockery, ridicule, and satire, and let Donald Trump handle the butt kicking. All right? Tomorrow's Friday, by the grace of God. God bless you, America's founder, Donald Trump. The job he's doing, our military that's kicking butt. Don't let him get you down. God bless you guys.
This is the right choice.
All right.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.